Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So we are going to highlight a particular brand, and one for me that has quickly become a favorite of mine coming from the Lone Star State of Texas, specifically Austin, Texas, and this being still Austin. The people behind the brand and what it is that they're doing have really done an absolutely outstanding job of making their Texas whiskey approachable to a lot of people around the country, around the world, wherever it is that you're able to get something from still Austin. And not only that, but one of the most important people that they have involved with their brand, Nancy Fraley, has done an absolutely incredible job, I think, making that a priority. They still have that Texas feel, but with a more approachable kind of profile to it. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. But, and again, for me, oftentimes some of the Texas whiskeys can be so dominant that I think it makes it less approachable to the masses. And again, I have to give a huge amount of credit for, I think, still Austin making the conscious effort to not only have a little bit of Texas flair, but to allow their whiskeys to be approachable. So what I wanted to do was just kind of highlight a little bit of what it is that still Austin has to offer and maybe what you can kind of expect. I'm just gonna sip on their straight rye whiskey as we go through these. And I'm gonna share with you the nosing and tasting notes that have been provided by Nancy Fraley. So you're gonna hear essentially from the horse's mouth what some of these profiles may be, and if this sounds like something that may ultimately fit your profile. Before we get into that, what I'm gonna say is this for me is a brand that, again, is extremely approachable from a Texas whiskey profile. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And I think, again, that as you start to explore what it is that still Austin is doing, you're gonna find yourself falling hopefully into that category of this is really truly something that I can sip on, I can enjoy for all the right reasons. So let's go ahead and kind of dive into it a little bit. So right here is their Blue Corn Bourbon Whiskey. This is going to be part of their Bottle and Bond series. Just did a review, so if you want to check that out, I'll have that linked above or in the description below. But again, what they're doing with their kind of Bottle and Bond series, fantastic, very, very approachable whiskeys for a lot of people. And I'll leave it at that. You can watch the full video review that I've got in the link in the description. So let's just talk a little bit about what we have here with their High Rye Bourbon. So this is coming directly from the tasting notes of Nancy Fraley. So on the nose, she has described this as orange zest, Jamaican allspice, fig jam, dark chocolate covered cherries, honey butter, dark rye bread, warm butter. And on the palate, she has noted tangerine sherbet, coffee cake, graham cracker crust, almond butter, pistachios, warm butter blueberry muffin. And on the finish, full-bodied crisp finish, dark chocolate, black currants, and dried figs. So if that doesn't sound like something absolutely delicious, I don't know what would. So let's move on second to, and what I'm sipping on right now. Fantastic. So again, Nancy Fraley's nosing and tasting notes for their straight rye whiskey. She has on the nose honey, cherries, fig, clove, coffee. On the palate, spicy chocolate, apricot, sandalwood, ginger, caramel. And for the finish, cinnamon, molasses, and orange zest, and some nutmeg. And just sipping on that, I can see where some of those characteristics are definitely coming out in that specific whiskey. So rye whiskey is something I absolutely love and is a very interesting whiskey from the standpoint of being able to pull out a lot of different kind of notes on. So absolutely love what they're doing with their straight rye whiskey. So let's first start with their cast strength rye whiskey. Again, the nosing and tasting notes are from Nancy Fraley. So on the nose, cherry cobbler with cinnamon crust, candied ginger and lemon peels, apricot streusel coffee cake. On the palate, grilled peaches with mint ice cream, apple and marzipan dumplings, gingerbread cookies with lemon zest, and on the finish, baking spices and brown butter, muddled cherries, and some mint leaves. So absolutely fantastic. Love a lot of what they do with their cask strength whiskeys. So that again was their cask strength rye whiskey. So let's finish it up with their cask strength bourbon whiskey. So again, some of the nosing and tasting notes from Nancy Fraley on the nose: brandied cherries with fresh muddled mint, old-fashioned blackberry cobbler with biscuit crust, cinnamon toast in brown butter. On the palate, grilled peaches drizzled with balsamic vinegar, butterscotch pecan pie, and dark brown sugars. On the finish, rye spice, nutmeg, and a little hint of clove. So what it is that, again, Still Austin has done and who they have involved with their brand, they have spared no expense. And all of their whiskeys have become, to me, extremely, extremely not only enjoyable, but something that I think fits a lot of people's profiles. Just what it is that they've done as a brand overall. To me, I'm going to say this, hands down, they're my favorite of all Texas distilleries, period. I think they've done just an absolutely fantastic job of making their whiskeys much more mainstream and something that will be ultimately enjoyed by a lot of people around the country, around the world, again, wherever it is you're able to find something from Still Austin. So if you were at all on the fence about what it is that Still Austin is doing and maybe kind of falling into the trap of thinking that, again, it's another one of the Texas whiskeys that has nothing but barrel char notes in it, this is as far from that as possible. This is a fantastic Texas whiskey that offers up an incredible profile, both nosing and tasting, that I think is going to really fit well with the masses. So do yourself a favor, find something, anything that you can from Still Austin, give it a try. Again, you can start with something that is more along the lines of their 100 proof version. They also have something called the Musician, which is just another one of their more standard or on-the-shelf bourbons. Then you can move up to their cask strength version from there once you maybe kind of dip your toes in the water on that. But overall, love what it is that Still Austin is doing and would highly encourage you to seek out something that they're doing. So there you guys go from Still Austin. This is kind of their general-ish core lineup. So they're always adding something to their Bottled and Bond series. They'll continue to put out their cask strength versions. But again, highly, highly recommend what it is that Still Austin is doing. So check it out. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for tuning in today. Truly appreciate all the support. If you'd like to follow me, you can on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of those places at My Bourbon Journey. If you'd like to support the channel and become part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, make sure you check out the Patreon link in the link below. And remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers.
Where I come from, there ain't no strangers. Other side of town, still my neighbor, no mind in your business. Every crime's got a